Why was a sea creature caught wearing a human hoodie in the freezing waters of Greenland? Is this evolution or proof of a military experiment gone wrong? Welcome back to your most primal fear. Today we dive into the abyss to face the wraith lurking inside giant fossilized skeletons. We will witness a frantic chase where humanoid predators launch themselves at unimaginable speeds to surround the vessel. From the mysterious charred remains found on the beach to the twisted zombie creature washing up in Iceland. Forget the fairy tales. They don't need our salvation. They are rising to reclaim their territory. These are 15 mysterious mermaid moments the government doesn't want you to see. Let's go. The Hoodie Greenland Mermaid. 3:42 a.m. September 12th in the freezing Davis Strait off the coast of Greenland. This is the strategic water the U.S. is eager to control, but a patrol team on a Zodiac rubber boat just discovered something far more terrifying than an enemy submarine. Look at the figure clinging tightly to the port side. Amidst the sub-zero Arctic cold, this creature is wearing a soaked gray zip-up hoodie. This is no frogman. Its face is bald skin, jaundiced like the wax of a long-dead corpse, and its glowing amber eyes completely lack sclera. Oversized fingers with webbing between the knuckles are digging into the inflated rubber. Beneath the black water, its scaled fishtail thrashes frantically. It is shivering violently. And then, to the horror of the Marines, it uses superhuman strength to launch itself right onto the deck. It flops down, thrashing its dark tail right next to the military gear. Why would an Arctic sea monster know how to wear a hoodie? Is it a biological spy trying to camouflage itself to infiltrate a military base? Or is this the result of a genetic experiment on humans that escaped from a secret lab buried deep within the ice? The charred siren of the coast. The deserted beach at dawn usually brings a sense of peace, but today the sea breeze carries the acrid smell of burnt flesh. An early beachcomber froze in their tracks upon encountering this creature collapsed on the wet sand. Its entire body is pitch black, but not from oil spills or mud. It is the color of charcoal of skin and flesh completely ravaged by a merciless fire. The creature is dying in a haunting posture, sitting on the ground, weakly propping itself up with two arms to maintain balance, its back hunched as if enduring bone-deep agony. Long hair that once flowed in the water is now matted, withered, and stiff, like dead burnt roots hanging over a naked back. The lower body, where a shimmering fishtail should be, is now just a shapeless, charred mass blending into the sand. A brutal scenario emerges. Perhaps it stranded or was caught, and ignorant captors mistook it for a large fish and decided to roast it right on the shore. It used its last ounce of strength to escape the fire, dragging itself to the water's edge, hoping the Mother Ocean would soothe the burns, but it was already too late. The pale wraith of the Arctic fossil, deep beneath the permafrost of Greenland, where water temperatures can kill a human in minutes, diver. James risked it all to survey an ancient graveyard. He found a massive, fossilized skeleton. But the terrifying part is that the hollow rib cage already had a tenant. Look at the creature lurking beneath those curved ribs. It bears the form of a mermaid, yet its entire body is a sickly stark white, blending perfectly with the 1,000-year-old bones. Its long, thick white hair floats in the water, creating a ghostly halo around its face. When the flashlight hits, it doesn't shrink back in fear. Instead, it lunges forward, baring its teeth and glaring at James with an expression of pure rage and malice. Its pale eyes seem to scream, "Get out of my home!" Immediately after that threat, it thrashes its silver tail and slithers deeper into the dark recesses of the skeleton to hide. Is it guarding the remains of its ancestors? Or is this giant skeleton simply a protective shell for this rare albino siren species? the unlisted exhibit at Okinawa. We are reviewing security footage from the Churaumi Aquarium in Okinawa at 10:15 p.m., a time when the halls should be empty. A lost child approaches the massive viewing pane, but what answers their innocent greeting is certainly not a friendly whale shark. From the deep darkness of the tank, a humanoid figure slowly emerges. Look closely at the hand placed against the glass. It is a sickly, pale limb with abnormally long fingers connected by thin, translucent webbing, perfectly designed for aquatic propulsion. The most chilling moment arrives when it presses that monstrous palm flat against the glass, matching perfectly with the child's small hand. Its face floats up a bald head, ghostly porcelain skin, and hollow black eye sockets that look like bottomless pits. The internal data screen flashing nearby indicates this creature is not on the exhibit list. So what is it? A secret government prisoner hidden under the guise of an amusement park, or a wild sea monster that somehow infiltrated the tank to observe humanity? The subterranean hive of Yucatan. Hold your oxygen tanks tight. We are diving into the dangerous depths of the Cenote Angelita cave system in Mexico. A freediver has accidentally captured evidence that the earth beneath our feet is not as solid as geography textbooks claim. A creature with a magnificent lower body suddenly glides past the lens. Look at that tail. Its scales are a ghostly blend of mysterious dark purple and ancient moss green shimmering under the weak refracted light. It moves with power, yet grace, parting the water to dive straight into a deep, narrow hole in the seabed. We didn't catch its face, only the final spread of its tail fin before it vanished into the darkness. But the true horror lies in the panoramic view. This is not the only hole. The seabed is riddled with similar deep circular openings. This is undeniably a massive hive of merfolk. Where do thousands of these tunnels lead? Do they connect to form a colossal subterranean metropolis where legions of these creatures live right beneath the Earth's crust without humanity ever knowing? The abyssal vlogger. Has the digital age finally reached the bottom of the ocean? A selfie video is storming through mystery forums, making viewers both shudder and question its authenticity. A creature with long soaked and matted black hair is holding the camera itself and waving at us in a friendly manner. Look closely at its body. The skin bears a deathly blue-gray hue, specifically the abdominal area, which features layered horizontal slits that look exactly like breathing gills. The waist transition is covered in rough scales that blend perfectly into the flesh with no sign of a costume. The hand raised to the lens is deathly white, and the fingers appear to be connected by thin webbing. But use your cold logic for a second. Where would a mermaid get an IP68 waterproof smartphone to film a vlog? And where is the 5G signal coming from in the abyss? Unless Atlantis just installed a cell tower, this is undoubtedly the performance of a special effects makeup genius. The detail of the prosthetic skin and scales is disturbingly realistic. If this is truly a human, Hollywood needs to fire their current CGI team immediately and roll out the red carpet to hire this artist. The illicit catch of the Bering Sea. A coastal patrol camera in the stormy Bering Sea has accidentally recorded a shocking case of biological smuggling. Two men on a small skiff are struggling with massive dead weight, but what they are processing is certainly not bluefin tuna. Look closely at the silvery white cargo being dragged violently from the water. It is over 2 meters long with a tapered fishtail that is slick and gleaming under the cold sun. However, the real nightmare lies in the upper half. Despite the motion blur, we can clearly see the structure of broad shoulders and 2 long arms hanging limp, listless, like a boneless corpse. The creature is completely motionless, surrendering its fate to the two fishermen using all their strength to haul it onto the deck. This isn't fishing. This is body disposal or contraband collection. Perhaps this unfortunate creature was killed, or worse, it is a fresh order, pre-booked by cryptid collectors in the underworld. As that pale white body slides onto the boat, the legend of the mermaid has officially become a brutal commercial tragedy. The shallow water stalker of the Andaman. We often comfort ourselves that monsters only lurk in the pitch-black abyss, but this footage from the crystal-clear Andaman Sea will ensure you never go snorkeling carelessly again. A humanoid creature is crawling right over the sand and dead coral at a depth of less than 3 meters. Long, thick, matted black hair covers its gaunt, naked back and skin that is as ash-gray as a corpse. But the true nightmare arrives when the camera catches a close-up of its face. It is the visage of an underwater demon. A soulless, pale face with darkened eye sockets and a gaping black mouth that seems to be screaming in silence. Its tail is not covered in glittering scales like a fairy tale, but is slick, bearing the raw pink color of flesh with sharp spines protruding along the spine. Upon realizing it is being watched, it thrashes its tail violently, creating a cloud of blinding sand to conceal its escape. Was it hunting or fleeing? Whatever it is, it was far too close to the shore. The midnight pursuit of the Atlantic. This boat is clocking 40 knots, yet it is completely helpless in shaking off the pursuers behind. 3 stark, white entities are tearing through the water with absolute ferocity. Look at those faces. Wax-white skin-hollow sockets and mouths gaping wide in an eternal scream. They aren't swimming. They are gliding like living torpedoes. Their leap out of the water looks so smooth and defies physics that many suspect this is the product of CGI or AI technology. But assuming this is real, question their motive. Intelligent predators usually choose to ambush rather than waste energy on a high-speed race like this. This frenzy smells of vengeance rather than survival instinct. Is the crew on that boat holding something that belongs to the ocean, a kidnapped child, or a forbidden artifact, and this wolf pack will not stop until they sink the vessel to reclaim what is theirs? The Titan chasers of Southeast Asia. Leaving the cold Atlantic, we arrive in the tropical waters of Southeast Asia, where a local fisherman has just recorded the worst nightmare of his life. There are fewer predators this time, but look at their size. These are true titans. A blue-gray creature is surfacing right at the boat's stern, its upper body massive and muscular like a wrestler. Its face reveals pure ferocity with wet hair hanging down, obscuring eyes that are locked onto the prey. However, let's turn on detective mode for a second. There is something physically wrong here. Look at that massive tail. It is thrashing right on the surface, creating white foam instead of underwater propulsion. Aerodynamically, it is impossible for a creature of this size to swim floating this high on the surface at such speed. There isn't enough thrust, and air resistance would slow it down instantly. The water movement looks too smooth and lacks real weight. Is this the work of an amateur VFX artist? Or is nature mocking us with broken laws of physics? The Peculiar Twins of 1987. Rewind this VHS tape to February 2nd, 1987. At a depth where pressure could crush a truck, the submersible's camera captured 2 faces that God certainly disowned. The first entity rushing into the frame is a blue-gray figure with completely twisted biology. Look at its ear. That is not a fin or a fish's auditory pore. It is a complete human ear with distinct cartilage, yet grafted onto the wrong spot of a bald, bumpy head. The most haunting feature is its smile, a dislocated jaw unhinged to reveal hundreds of needle-sharp teeth growing chaotically, piercing into each other like a field of rusted iron spikes. Its eyes are wide open, pitch black, and fully dilated, exuding a manic extreme excitement like a psychopath who just found a new toy. Right beside it is its twin brother, but bearing a sickeningly different appearance. This creature possesses skin as jaundiced and pale as a patient in end-stage liver failure. On its head, wispy strands of hair or tendrils float listlessly in the dead water. Unlike the frenzy of the other one, this creature has a rigid mouth with teeth arranged perfectly evenly, standing straight up like prison bars or the mechanical exhaust filter of an industrial machine. They swim close together curiously, pressing their faces right up against the camera lens without a hint of fear. They are too human to be fish, yet too monstrous to be products of nature. Are these Subject 1 and Subject 2 of a Cold War aquatic super soldier project? A genetic splicing experiment that failed miserably, creating uncontrollable abominations that were ultimately discarded into this abyss to destroy the evidence where they have survived mutated and waited for decades, the zombie mermaid of Vik. Brace yourself, because what washed up on the black sands of Vik, Iceland looks like a deleted scene from The Ring. An early morning walker discovered a drifted body, but it wasn't resting in peace. The creature lies twisted in a broken, non-physical posture, with its pale limbs and tail contorted like a crushed giant spider. Its skin bears a deathly blue hue with sunken dark eyes and a gaping mouth revealing blackened teeth frozen in a scream. Long, matted black hair draped over the wet sand creates a scene of absolute, haunting terror. However, turn on your skepticism. Despite the horrifying pose, the surface texture of this creature is problematic. The face is too smooth, artificially polished, lacking pores, or the natural imperfections of organic flesh. The joints in the arms and tail look rubbery, or like a computer rendering glitch. Is this an art installation, a discarded silicone doll, or the product of an older generation AI that hasn't quite learned how to render realistic human skin yet? The weary mermaid of the American coast. In the next video, come to a rocky coast in the US, where a camera accidentally captured a mundane moment of the underworld that is weirdly relatable. No screaming, no attacking, this creature is perching on a rock like a heartbroken person enjoying the breeze. Look closely at this giant mermaid. Its entire body is covered in artificial turquoise skin, slick and smooth like molded plastic. The bald head with oversized eye sockets gives the impression of an alien rather than a fish. A long, thick tail hangs down into the water, blending into the mossy rocks. But what gives viewers goosebumps is its gesture. Upon realizing it is being watched by humans, it doesn't panic immediately. Instead, it puts its hand to its head in a gesture of sheer weariness and boredom, as if sighing, "Those annoying humans again." Immediately after that moment of existential dread, it turns to signal another mermaid hiding behind the rock in the back. Both launch themselves into the water, leaving a huge question. Do they possess intellect and emotions far more complex than we thought, or is this just a clumsy act in costume? The gargoyle mermaid of the Adriatic. This video was sent from a secluded cliff on the Adriatic coast. At first glance, you'd think someone placed a gargoyle statue on the rock to scare tourists. But look closely, that statue is breathing. The creature possesses ash-gray skin, rough and perfectly camouflaged against the limestone. Its body structure is muscular, with a thick, rigid neck that looks carved from solid granite rather than flesh and blood. It is using its powerful arms to grip the ledge, attempting to crawl higher to sunbathe. However, the drama unfolds when it turns its head and locks eyes with the camera lens. Its gaze holds no curiosity, only extreme caution. Instantly, survival instinct kicks in. Without turning around to gain momentum, it shifts into reverse, using sheer muscle power to launch itself backward off the rock and plunge into the sea. That jerky, decisive movement begs the question, is this an unknown amphibious mermaid species, or a gargoyle monster that escaped an ancient cathedral roof to hide in the ocean? The mummified mermaid of Greenland. Back to the windy shores of Greenland, where a tourist has just found something that would make the faint-hearted scream. Nestled among the driftwood washed ashore is a creature that is mini in size but max in horror. Look closely at this shriveled carcass. It has an oversized bulbous head like an alien with hollow eye sockets and a mouth full of sharp teeth. The upper body is so emaciated that the ribs protrude clearly through the brownish-yellow skin that looks like smoked meat with two withered arms curled up against the chest. The lower half is a distinct fishtail with scales, featuring even a small dorsal fin running along the spine. However, do not rush to believe this is archaeological evidence. Its texture looks too rigid and artistic. The skin and bone look more like they were carved from wood or molded from papier-mâché than decaying organic flesh. Perhaps this is a macabre sculpture intentionally placed here to scare curious American tourists, or a modern version of the famous 19th century Fiji mermaid hoax. Look back at what we just witnessed. The hoodie-wearing figure in Greenland was not a random coincidence. That is adaptation. That is camouflage. If they can wear our clothes, learn to walk on land, and hide in plain sight within public aquariums, then the question is no longer, are they real? But rather, how many of them are walking among us right now? The underworld is rising. The drifting corpses, the ancient skeletons, and those frantic chases are just the prologue. Perhaps they are tired of hiding and are preparing to reclaim what is theirs. The next time you look out at the sea, do not let that peaceful beauty fool you. Beneath those deep blue waves, billions of eyes are wide open watching your every move. If you are brave enough to continue unveiling these secrets with me, don't just watch and leave. Hit subscribe and comment the word mermaid down below immediately. Every comment is a vote for me to dig deeper into the ocean's darkest files. The truth is right beneath your feet. See you in the next nightmare.